What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys an urgent market update as Bitcoin is testing critical support as we speak. Well, I guess it's been testing this critical support for about like 10 or 11 days now, but we do have two major bearish signals popping up on the chart. One we talked about in the recent past. This other one actually has formed over the past week or so as price action has developed. So I want to take a look at these two bearish signals and kind of what the probabilities of these breaking down would be, and if they do, where they would actually break down to. Now, we do have some things popping up on time frames like the 2-day that could indicate some form of a bounce coming in here. But again, in this video, I want to talk about, even if we do get a bounce, why I will actually be looking just to short a lower high. Now, guys, I would lean a little bit more bearish than bullish, and I'll show you guys right now why I actually feel that way. But again, I want to remind you, I am not getting super bearish at these range lows because we are technically hitting support. So I am not entering any new major short positions as of right now. But again, if we do get a short-term bounce come in here, I will talk to you guys about why I'm looking to short a lower high rather than looking for some really big fresh longs at the range lows. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the charts, and I want to talk about those two bearish signals, the key levels, and again, why I'm not really looking for fresh longs, rather just looking to short lower highs. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. As you guys know, we have been ranging around in this value area for quite some time. Other than this slight deviation to the upside here and the slight deviation to the upside here, we have basically been ranging between about 29K and about 27K for, forever is what it feels like, right? Realistically, we've been in this range for about 66 days. So over 2 months, we've been ranging sideways again, other than those two deviations. However, as you guys know, we've been looking at this one bearish signal that's been popping up, and that is the head and shoulders we have forming right here with our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder, and our neckline right down here at the bottom of the range. Now, that is our bearish signal number one. Now, as you guys know, this has been on the chart for quite some time. However, as I was talking about in my videos and my live streams last week, we actually do look like we have broken down from that head and shoulders and are now bearishly retesting the neckline of that pattern, right? And I'm going to talk about that a little deeper right now as I pull up the bearish case here. And again, that big number one signal being that massive head and shoulders on the higher daily time frames. So let me go ahead and pull up the TA here and kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. Now, obviously, we do have that head and shoulders right here marked out, and you can see our neckline coming up as a diagonal level of resistance, and you can see that we've actually broken below this neckline, and it does look like we could potentially just be coming up to bearishly retest that neckline. And if we do wind up breaking down out of that head and shoulders, guys, it could get very bearish for Bitcoin, at least in the medium term. Now, on top of that, guys, to add insult to injury, you can see we are forming somewhat of a bear flag here as we continue to range around in this lower range down here. It is looking a little bit like bearish consolidation on top of the bearish retest of the neckline. And this is part of the reason why I am leaning a little bit more bearish until we could get back above these levels, on top of many other things, guys. Not only do we have the red dot now printing on the daily time frame, which is something we have been keeping an eye on the channel and on the BitBoy Crypto channel on the morning show. This is something that I was talking about during our live stream in Miami. And again, it's not just the red dot on the daily, it's the fact that our money flow is now back in the red. This is definitely more of a bearish sign than a bullish one. And again, with the head and shoulders on top of the bear flag, on top of the bearish retest of the neckline, this could potentially wind up flipping bearish very quickly. Now, the reason I am being careful, guys, with entering any new shorts, I am currently short from about 27.8. I believe, let me see if I can find, I am short from about 27.8. I did get in somewhere on this candle on that bearish retest. So I am short from up here, but I am not looking for any more fresh shorts as of right now, just because we are sitting at support, right? You want to short resistance and long support. You do not want to short into support, because if you get a bounce, you're obviously going to get wrecked. So right now I am just sitting in my short from up here, guys, and I am not looking for any fresh longs. Now, if you pull the measured move of this bearish flag, you can see it is a very, very similar target, bringing us to the top of our blue box here, coming in at about $23,650. So with that being said, guys, if we do wind up seeing this breakdown, the next major level of support I will be looking at is actually not going to be this blue box down here. This is going to be, if these bearish patterns play out in full, that's where I would expect them to pull us down to. However, we do still have our level here at about 25,300 down to about 24,850. And that is really going to be the next major area of support. So this first blue box would be the next major area that I would expect a bounce from, as we will be testing these previous highs from back in February. And don't forget, we also have these spider lines right down here a little bit more locally. So don't forget, it is possible to catch some support on these spider lines. But again, once this starts breaking down and that daily red dot confirms, I do think if it winds up dumping, I do think we would likely break these spider lines and come test some of these more important levels down here from our previous range. Now, on top of that, guys, here is a little bonus bearish signal popping up on our 2-week. As you guys know, we were keeping an eye on this for quite some time on the channel, and we are finally printing that 2-week red dot. This is at least popping up on the Bitstamp chart, and you can see, obviously, we are starting to print that red dot, which would be much more of a bearish case than a bullish case. And if we compare this to back in 2019, during our little fake out bull market here, you can see that as we peaked out on that little bear market rally, we did wind up printing a red dot on the 2-week, and that did wind up bringing us down a bit to the tune of about 42%, which was a pretty substantial dump before getting another little pull up, and then we printed that blood diamond during the March 2020 dump, which obviously was a black swan event. But if we did see this 2-week red dot wind up playing out like this previous one, this would bring us back all the way down to our lows, where potentially we could wind up putting in a double bottom before continuing back up to higher prices. Now, no guarantees we get all the way back down there. I just saw the similarity between now and 2019, so I wanted to bring that up. And again, we also don't only have the red dot on the 2-week, but we also have the money flow in the red, which again is a little bit more of a bearish case, but we're still pretty far away from $15,000. So again, I would be looking at more of these local levels, again, coming in at about 25.3 to 24.850. And then again, if we see these bearish patterns play out to their fullest, it could be bringing us all the way down to 23K in the medium term. So with all those bearish signals in mind, guys, that is why even if we do continue to see a little bit of a bounce off these range lows, I will just be looking to short a lower high and hopefully catch a decent entry, or just add to my current short position to get a bigger move to the downside and cash in on all the bulls getting wrecked. Now, I know that was very, very bearish, but I will give you one somewhat of a bullish case here, and that would be lying on the 2-day. This is the one conflicting thing we do have on the chart right now, and that is the fact that we are printing a green dot on the 2-day. Now, again, with our money flow coming out so aggressively, this is something we've been watching very closely on the channel. With the money flow coming out so aggressively, I would expect this green dot only to give us a short-term move back up, potentially all the way back up to the top of our bear flag, up at about 27,920, in which case I would be looking for bearish confirmations, again, not only to add to my short, but potentially enter some fresh short to hopefully catch the breakdown of this range, and again, write it down and cash in on those bulls getting wrecked. Now, if we do wind up pushing above that, guys, remember we also have that point of control right up here at about $28,050, which would be another big level of resistance to watch. However, if we do come up here, I would consider the short trade ideas invalidated if we start breaking 29K and holding support above here. And then if we flip this spider line, I will be looking to potentially, throw in the towel on the shorts and flip a little bit more bullish and look to long a higher low. So, guys, that is basically how I'm feeling about Bitcoin right now. Again, not impossible to get some kind of a bounce here again, especially with that 2-day green dot printing. But because of all the bearish stuff we just went over in this video, I will be looking to short lower highs all the way up. Again, even if we come all the way up to the top of our bear flag at 27,900 or to this POC at about $28,065, I will also be looking to add to my short or enter new shorts at these levels. Now, if we start breaking above this midsection of our range at about $28,060, I may hold off on the shorts for just a little bit. until we get up to the value area high, in which case I will be looking for bearish confirmations to potentially short it back down to the range lows. But if we start breaking this level here again at about $29,000, it would indicate that maybe things would flip bullish. We would obviously have to assess the situation when we get up there, see what the indicators look like, see what the price action looks like. But if we do get above this level and things look bullish, I am obviously not going to be shorting that breakout. But if we get bearish confirmations up here, I will be looking for some fresh shorts. But again, guys, I am leaning a bit more bearish than bullish right now just because of all the things we just went over. I just wanted to give you the short-term bullish case in case we get a bounce. I don't want everybody just flipping bullish. I just want to let you know I will be looking to short those lower highs. And don't forget, guys, if you find these urgent market updates helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these urgent market updates or awesome tutorials that we upload to the channel. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's market update. Remember, that daily money flow crossover into the red with the red dot is definitely more bearish than bullish. We also have the 2-week red dot printing with money flow coming out. We got the head and shoulders, the bearish flag. These are all bearish signs, but we're not shorting into support. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand.